Hey y'all, so I'm finally back for another salon video, and today I'll be showing y'all how I do a 360 lace frontal sew-in. And this hair is from Luvin hair. You can find them on Aliexpress. I'll link all their information down below. So I have 3 bundles of 16-inch, and then I have a 12-inch 360 lace frontal. Now this is not plucked or nothing like that, so I gotta put a little work in, but I'll show y'all how I customize it and do all of that. So now I'm just about to bleach the knots, and I use my gold wheel lightener. Normally I use like the cheaper stuff to bleach my knots, but this is all I had. So you just want to get it like to a nice creamy consistency, and then I just apply it on. And I have my closures. I just want to make this a public announcement. This is my first time doing this, putting the closure on the foam head to bleach your knots. Don't do this because I got bleach. Well, I got like the hairs got bleached basically, so just put it down so it don't like press up against it too much. So I let that sit for about 20 minutes, and then I had to go back and color the hairs because I bleached them and they got all blonde. So anyway, here's the final result. It still came out good. Looks super natural. Then you want to go in with a purple shampoo just to further lighten those knots, and then I apply that shampoo and I let it sit for another 20 minutes. So here's my model. This is my sister, y'all, and I just want to show y'all my parting as I'm doing my braids. You want to make sure you leave your parting clear like at the middle and on the sides, just so when you part the lace that scalp is showing through and you're not parting and seeing braids everywhere. So my braid pattern with the 360, I'll leave a braid at the back just so I can sew that 360 down at the back and make it look super natural. You don't want to leave hair out back there. And then here I'm going in with the oil. You want to make sure you oil your client's scalp because you don't want it dry and flaky and all of that. So I'll just give y'all a quick look at my braid pattern, all sewn up and everything. And now it's time to pluck. Ooh! So I prefer to pluck my clients' frontals while it's on their head because it just helps me to go like with their natural hairline. So what I'm doing now is I'm gonna go ahead and sew on her 360. So you just pull the bands and you strap them in and make sure ask your client, is it too tight and all of that. And this just helps to lay that top part of the closure flat. Now the back part will be lifted up a little bit, and that might scare you a little bit, but that's okay. Just go ahead and use that braid at the back and use that to sew on that 360. It doesn't matter really how you do it, just making sure it's sewn on and it'll be fine. Then you just want to cut the lace off and go ahead and pull out those baby hairs. Be careful not to cut the baby hairs because I did cut some, but that's okay because you can go in and make your own baby hairs too. Just cut them down with some scissors. Now I'm just sewing up the back of the lace. I like to pull it, and it doesn't matter if it folds over or anything like that. That's fine. You just want to make sure that it's nice and tight and pulled up, and making sure like the outer part of the frontal is straight. I hope I'm making sense, but yeah. So now I'm gonna go ahead and pluck this frontal. So what I do is just take a small section of the hairline and I go through with like a zigzag motion like I'm doing highlights, and then I'll start to pluck those hairs out. I don't use a tweezer, I just use my hand and rip them out. But just make sure if you do choose to rip them out, you just do like a few strands at a time, just so you don't rip that lace. Then you just want to go back a row and continue doing the same thing. Just do that weaving motion and pluck out them hairs. And this does take a while. It's very tedious. It takes such a freaking long time, so I do recommend just to go ahead and get like a pre-plucked closure because it makes it a little bit easier for you. But yeah, it's definitely a process, but just keep going back and keep plucking until you get that desired look. Go ahead and cut the lace off. I like to leave a little bit of lace on there just to give me room to work with and everything. Don't be scared to cut off that extra lace. So if it's like extra lace around the ear, go ahead and carve that out, cut it out. You don't need it, toss it, throw it away. So then you want to go ahead and make parts at every single braid and stitch it down with some nylon thread. Nylon thread is going to be giving you your best result because it's super thin and you won't be able to see it throughout the lace. It won't be bulky or pull too hard or none of that. So now is the fun part where you get to do baby hairs and style the frontal and everything. So I'm just spraying it down with water, and I'm also plucking out some more hairs. At this time, I also go in and pluck out the parts on the frontal. I'm sure y'all seen this stuff all over YouTube. It's the Got To Be glue. It's not a glue, it's just a styling gel. And I just use this to further lay down those parts of the frontal that just stick up, you know, a little bit, mainly around the sides and the ears, just so you don't have to cut off all of that lace and then the natural hair is showing. So now to the fun part, the baby hairs. So you just want to pull out like some wispy little hairs and cut them down with a razor or scissors. So I like to use a mousse to lay the baby hairs down. It just gives it like a nice hold without it being too hard. And yes, I got my hair toothbrush and I'm laying them baby hairs out. So you just want to do that and then ask your client where they want their part. This is where you want to go ahead and part it and everything. And then you can lay it down with a wrap strip and go on to sew on them bundles. Then you want to go ahead and add mousse to the frontal as well. And this obviously just helps to lay it down better and distinguish that part. So putting that wrap strip on just meshes everything together, makes it beautiful. It, you know, lays down them baby hairs. It lays down that Got To Be gel. And then you want to just go ahead and sew on the hair. When you get to the top, you want to make sure you start putting your tracks in more of a horseshoe motion, and that'll just help to end the sew in and close it all up and blend it in with the frontal. strip come off, yes, the edges just be laid. Everything is just blended in together so beautifully. And now you're all done. You just can go ahead and style it and bam, girl.